What are these 3 medical instruments I got from a multi-million-dollar estate in Maine this week? I think they are all made of steel and look old. The needle is 14 centimeters long. The forceps with sharp ends is 23 centimeters. And the syringe has no needle with the top marked A and arrow down, and J with arrow up, and is 20.5 centimeters long. Any ideas? They are embalming tools from circa 1920. The American Civil War era and the last quarter of the 19th century showed dramatic advancements in embalming processes, instruments, chemicals, and education. Chemical advances, such as the 1890s adoption of formaldehyde, further improved the process. To assist with the movement of fluids, suction and pressure for these procedures are provided by hand-operated bulb syringes or vacuum pumps like this. What is this old wooden screw with metal nail thing on top? The nail-looking part might be cut off something or have something cut off it, and it looks like I could put a wrench on it. I found it in an old toolbox with a bunch of sockets. Any ideas? It's a wooden screw on a rod of a glass insulator from the 1940s to 60s. This style of insulator was used for telephone and low-voltage power distribution. The drip point base was believed to help water drip off the insulator. They are made by the Hemingway Glass Company, which operated between 1848 to 1972 and was the largest manufacturer of glass insulators in the world. What is this pair of solid brass hinge-like items found in a wooden box of tools at an estate sale? The male and female pieces fit together, and I'm not sure why they are shaped as they are. Any ideas? It's a set of mid-century hinges for a toilet seat and lid. The black rubber washer-like part is where it bolts to the toilet, the flat bracket for the lid, and the angled bracket for the seat, or possibly the other way around, but one straight plus one angled per set. I'm hoping to figure out what these are. It's a box, and all 6 dolls are included. I vaguely remember wishing on these when I was younger. I have amnesia, and it's been years, so I wouldn't be too certain on that. I can't really tell what it's made of other than I think the clothes on the dolls are wrapped in thread, and the limbs might be wire. I desperately tried looking everywhere for what they were and never found anything. Has anyone ever come across one of these before? Those are worry dolls, mostly handmade dolls that originate from the highland indigenous people of Guatemala. They are made of wire, wool, and colorful textile leftovers. The dolls are then dressed in traditional Mayan style. In the doll's original Guatemalan tradition, a local legend about the origin of the muñeca Cuitapena refers to a Maya princess named Ixmucane. The princess received a special gift from the sun god, which would allow her to solve any problem a human could worry about. In traditional and modern times, worry dolls are given or lent to brooding, anxious, or sorrowful children. They would tell their doll about their sorrows, fears, and worries, then hide it under their pillow before going to sleep at night. It is said that the child relinquishes their worries to the dolls during the night, and by the next morning, all sorrows are said to have been taken away by the worry doll, and they can move forward refreshed the next day. I got a set of these in a different sort of container at the 1965 World's Fair in New York City. I was a wee girly, and I loved them a lot until my dog ate them. What is this round metal sieve-like thing, with metal tubing protruding from multiple points? It's maybe made of aluminum, with lots of holes for airflow or water, and multiple metal tubes protruding from areas potentially for water or electrical. Any ideas? I'm pretty sure it's part of an Opere multi-beam operating room surgical lamp. I'm guessing the age of this piece to be from around the 1930s or so. One of my clients moved into a building that formerly housed a mortuary. I saw one hanging in the prep room, a very unique, cool old medical piece that you don't often find. What is this lightweight item I found in a junk drawer? Possibly tin, around 2 by 2 inches. The center is tapered about half an inch deep and has 2 holes on the sides for mounting somewhere. My first thought is a bottle opener, because in my country there is a beer called Imperial. but I honestly don't know if that brand would be that old. Does anyone know what this thing actually is? It's the brass faceplate of Imperial 1920s to 30s radio. The numbers were on a drum behind the face, and the little spikes in the center were the pointers. These radios evoke a time when Americans worn down by the Great Depression would gather around the household radio to hear consoling words from President Franklin D. Roosevelt during one of his many fireside chats. For many American families, the ceremony surrounding these broadcasts was a bit like going to church.
A second Bill of Rights.
What is this bronze disc with a rotating bronze ring? Approximately 18 inches in diameter and weighs about 15 pounds. There are small indication lines on the outer edge and a mounting hole on the bottom. A small piece of wire can be seen tied to one of the upright pieces, and you can see through the slit in the other one. A number is cast into the bottom but is unreadable. What is this thing? That is an Osborne Firefinder, a type of alidade used by fire lookouts to find a directional bearing to smoke in order to alert fire crews to a wildland fire. It was created by William Osborne, a United States Forest Service employee from Portland, Oregon, and has been in service since 1915. The system is composed of a topographic map of the area, oriented and centered on a horizontal table, with a circular rim graduated in degrees and fractions. 2 sighting apertures are mounted above the map on opposite sides of the ring and slide around the arc. The device is used by moving the sights until the observer can peek through the nearer sighting hole and view the crosshairs in the further sight, aligned with the fire. What is this hollow wooden box with a lever found next to empty wine bottles in a restaurant in Sicily? It is a wooden box, and the specific wood was not known by the restaurant owners. I am also not a woodsman, so I do not know the type of wood. I asked the restaurant owners what it was, but they didn't speak much English, and me no Italian. So we didn't get very far, other than he lifted the lever up and down whilst pointing at the box. We had initially thought of a napkin holder, as another user suggested earlier. What exactly is this thing? It's a nutcracker. Here is a similar one. You put the nut at the top, above the dip, and pull the handle down onto it. You can see the wear where this has been done. The nut cracks, and the shells and meat go into the tray, where you can pick out the meat. What is this mechanical antique object with a crank? It was found in the basement of a multi-generational inherited house. It's heavy, about the size of a toolbox, with no visible text, and there are nails on the bottom. So at one point, it was affixed to something wooden. It makes noise when cranked, but the visible mechanics do not move. Any ideas? Please let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.